What is going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today is a beautiful day. So if you guys seen the previous video, we went to the junkyard. We didn't really score too much, but we did get a pair of brand new front rotors for my 5-lug conversion. In that video, I didn't show you guys how I cleaned it, but the proper way to do it is to go get it spun at a shop for 10 bucks each, and you'd have a fresh surface for the brake pads to clamp on. In my case, I kind of did a lot of stuff off camera and did some painting and stuff. Let me show you guys. $37 rotors from the junkyard. Freshened up, nicely painted, no more surface rust. This thing is ready to rock and roll. I gave it a nice coat of black just so it doesn't rust over time again. So these suckers are ready to rock and roll. Now, I did some research this morning before I came out. I was comparing prices between AutoZone, O'Reilly's, and Rock Auto. Normally, I buy a lot of stuff from Rock Auto. All my magnets right here, as well as my toolbox right there. But I was comparing prices, and normally Rock Auto, you save a lot of money there if all the parts are coming from one location. In the case of what I was looking for, they were coming from multiple locations, and with the shipping from different location, it kind of just added right back up. Also this morning I did some research, but last night in my live stream on Instagram, I asked the homie Ravi, if you guys don't remember him, he has that wagon with the K24 turbo in Florida that I drove, and I asked him what axle is he running in his K-Swap wagon, because I noticed that he was 5-lug. He told me K20 Z3 passenger and RSX Type S driver. Fortunate for me, in my storage unit I have K20 Z3 axles, and I need to go buy some RSX Type S drivers. So we're about to head to the parts store, grab all of that, head to the storage unit, grab the rest of those. Also remember CV boots as well. I'm gonna write that on my little notepad, because before I leave my room I always write stuff down just so I know I'm not forgetting anything. So CV boots X2, because the ones in the storage has been sitting in the backyard for the last 5 years, and the boots are crusty. Let's head to the parts store. All I want for my birthday is a big booty hoe. Wow, this parking lot is packed. Oh, I guess I'll just park next to this 240 right here on some long champs. Sheesh. That's crazy, bro. I was in O'Reilly's for almost 50 minutes. There's only 2 guys working a counter and freaking lines like out the door. I bought a Type S axle, 2 ball joints, 2 CV kit for the K20 Z3 axle, some detergent, caliper spray because I want to refresh that a little bit, and everything was like on my discount was $2.95. And I still got to go O'Reilly's to pick up the master cylinder because they can't get it at all. EX model. God damn, 35 minutes. The line is long today. All right, guys, last stop, the storage unit. And I need my axles. I don't know why it sounded like that. I need my axles. So I need passenger Z3. This is the 36 mil. And you guys can see the boot is all torn up. So I'm going to be taking this because this is passenger. I do not need driver, and a bunch of broken all-wheel drive axles there. Go ahead and just put that there. I didn't expect running around for parts was going to take almost 3 freaking hours, but we're still going to be putting some work, and I'm just trying to remember if I need anything else in the storage unit before I take off. So we are back home, guys, and I think I know what I'm doing today. Click you guys on. Today, we're just going to clean a bunch of components. So because we've already done the engine bay, nice paint, everything else is clean to an extent. The wheel wells also Rhino line, and then a couple of the other suspension stuff are new, as well as the painted LCA if you've seen the previous videos when we pressed the new bushings in. The CRV spindle that I bought also came from the junkyard, so it's pretty dirty and grimy as well too. So I'm probably gonna pull that out so we can clean all of that up. We bought caliper paint, so we're gonna be painting the caliper as well too. Probably install the rotor and the brake pads and everything all together just so the spindle is ready to go, also along with the ball joints. The brake booster is currently in the car is the stock one from the car. I don't think the booster is bad. I just think the master is what was leaking, which then caused all the paint to drizzle off. And if we need to change it later down the road, it's really not that hard to do, especially now because it's case swap. Pull the master off the booster off the firewall and the pedal assembly. It kind of just comes out, and then you sandwich the new one back in. That's it. So I'm going to be pulling that back off too, so we can give that a nice coat of paint. The Z3 axle also needs the boots changed. I got those as well too, so let's just get right into it. I don't know if it's just CRV spindles, but these guys are heavy. And there's no rotor on it. Oh my. Oh no. Spun bearing crank tipped over. I don't care about it. So I'm taking note, this looks OEM busted, but this one looks replaced. You can see a little blue ring right there. And I also noticed that these don't have circlips, which kind of scares me a little bit. And I prefer to run circlip because you can see how this one's popping out. No bueno. I also took notice that the upper control arms on the ES sedan spindles were replaced as well too, because you can see that blue strap on there. It's not a strap, it's a retaining clip. So right now I'm gonna go ahead and pull off the brake booster. It just has 212 for the master right there, and then there's 112 on the inside that's holding it in place. Ooh, crusty crab pizza. Got the bolt taken out on the inside. This should just come out of here. And if you got fresh paint on your firewall, make sure your booster has the rubber grommet in the back right there. I'll probably do the axle boot a little bit later. So right now I'm just gonna clean the spindles. We're gonna be knocking off the 17 for the calipers. So caliper off. Second caliper. These wheel bearings look like they've been replaced before. I'm gonna leave them alone. They don't really shake too much. They will shake a little bit because there's no axle in it to compress it together. I am gonna take off the what is this, ABS-B sensor. I don't know what this is, but I'm just gonna take it off because we don't need it. Trash anyways, because it was cut off right there. We are changing the ball joints, so I'll knock these out. Now, if you don't want to wreck the shield like I did here in the junkyard, use the ball joint remover tool. Funny thing is, I do have it, but I'd rather smack it because I don't care about these. Just got to bend the shield out of the way and don't miss. Oh my God. Ran out of oven cleaner, so I grabbed this gunk engine cleaner, the foamy one. Oh, look, it's already eating. That's good. That is good. So I've been sitting here hammering away into the night. The shield, I don't know if I've shown you guys, but the shield was pretty bent up because when I took this out of the junkyard, I swung and I missed. But got it flattened out, got it pulled out, got the lips all pulled out, got it all straightened up, got it all flapped this down so it's not sharp, you know what I mean? And we're gonna give this a nice coat of black. I'm not worried about it being wrinkled because you're not going to see it. It's going to sit behind the rotor. It's going to be under the car. Nobody's really going to take a peek at it. But this one kind of straightened it out a little bit as well too, and got a little bit ahead of myself. So these are all nicely cleaned and scrubbed, and I taped off all the areas I don't want painted, as well as the areas where the clips sit right there. And spray can cap fits right over the piston. I was trying to tape it up, but the tape just wasn't having it with the rubber. So these caps right here fits perfectly, and I can spray around all of that. So these guys are ready for high temp primer. I'm gonna use primer because you kind of want primer on something that's probably going to get hot. So we have engine enamel primer from VHT, and I was going to use the caliper paint. I bought it in it's called caliper silver. That's pretty silver. If you buy like aftermarket ones, they kind of come silver like this. Some comes like graphite, some comes a little darker than this. The caliper aluminum might be a little too bright for me. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. This one I did not paint it at all. This one has the budget big brake ITR with Mini Cooper rotors, and you know, I don't drive the car because the rotors are rusted up. That's raw, so that's not what I'm looking for. This one is painted graphite gray, duplicate color graphite gray. I might end up just doing gray so it's not a sore eye, as far as, you know, painting it the bright aluminum color. You guys remember I got this from the junkyard? Super clutch. Realized I didn't really have too much gloss black left, and I just used whatever I found on the shelf, which, not to my surprise, Rust-Oleum gloss black, and literally I had like about this much left, and you can hear it is empty. And I spray bombed the shield. I could have flat blacked it, but it was like a semi-gloss black factory, but I just gloss blacked it, and I did front and back side. The gloss, I mean, it's really nice. Hopefully when it dries up, it looks just as good, although you're not going to see it once the rotor goes on. So I'm gonna let that dry up, and then we'll tape it all up to paint the spindles. I think these guys are ready for some base paint, because I think I'm just going to go with the graphite gray, which is this right here, opposed to the caliper silver, which is kind of like the cast aluminum silver. It's just way too bright. I know. A tub of hot water will work wonders, but you know what? Really not trying to play with water right now, so heat gun works great. Oh man, about to run out. Spindles all painted up, truck lined, looks freaking good. And I made a little like block off thing of a bob right here in the middle, and that protected the bearing from paint. So I'm gonna go ahead and just let this all dry up, and we're gonna step into the brake booster. This thing is satin black from factory, right? And I'm probably going to trim paint this to give it that satin color, but first we need to knock off all of this rust here. Import direct ball joint BJ06023 right there. Just playing. The flatter side goes inward. The rounded side is the outside. Ooh, man, look at that refreshed spindle rotor caliper setup though. My guys, that is a junkyard setup right there. Let's get the other one done. Zam! Front spindle's ready to rock and roll. So I went checking in my back half of the garage over there, and I don't have any brake lines. I remember having brake lines with blue sleeving on it, stainless steel brake lines, but I don't know where it's at. I had some stainless ones that probably went into, I don't know if it was La Ponda or the Flip RX CRX, but I had a bunch of them. I don't know where they're at. But anyways, regardless of the brake lines, we have practically everything to install these into the car. Maybe in the next video, I'm not sure yet. But as far as these go for today, we are done with them. Right now I'm gonna go ahead and install the booster, and I think this one I'm probably gonna install it upside down, only because I want this to point down low instead of having the vacuum line on top near the turbo. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this installed, and then we'll get into the axle boot replacements. So I'm going to install the new master right now, and we're not going to put brake fluid in it. I know you're supposed to bench bleed it, which I'm going to do with the brake pedal assembly. I'll put the fittings on, then loop the line into here, and then use the pedal to bleed the system out before we connect it to the hard line. But for right now, just mock-up purposes. Oh man, looking fresh. So let's get into the axle reboot. I do have two replacements here. One's gray, one's black, and not really too worried about it. So this axle is a K20 Z3 out of an 8th gen 06 Civic SI, which was a donor's car to my brother's brown wagon over there. We bought the car from the auction, and I took the entire swap out of it to put into his wagon, supercharged it, and obviously his car is 32 millimeters, so we got insane swap axles for that car. And these kind of just rotted in the backyard for the last 7-8 years maybe. So I had these in the storage unit, just kind of stashed away for whenever I was going to need it. I did take it apart before to try to see if I can switch tripods and stuff, but it didn't work out between OE and aftermarket. So I put it back together, stuffed it away, and now apparently I need it for going 36mm in this car. So simple enough. These are already torn up, but cut them open. This one right here, the CV is actually going to stay attached to the tripod, and this one right here is actually going to come off. But what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to knock this side out, which you can put back in, because I don't want to remove this. Normally I would leave this attached to the shaft. Aftermarket don't really have the rubber balance thingamabob here, and the tripod right here separates. So then I would put the boot all the way through from this side to replace this one, and then this side put the tripod back on with the new boot. Big pause. This one doesn't have a strap on it, so I'm gonna go ahead and toss this in the trash can. This side is not really torn, but it is kind of dry rotted. You can see all the cracks on there, so I'd rather be safe than sorry and just change them out. So under all the grease, there is a little circlip right there. You pop that off, this tripod comes off. You can slip the new boot in and then put the tripod bearings, grease it, and then you put the cup back on. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean this a little bit more. You can get this tool from Amazon or O'Reilly's. It wasn't sharp enough to cut, so I didn't use my cutter to cut that strap. But first one's on. Tripod. Little circlip. Make sure it's snapped in the groove. I'm gonna put all the grease inside the cup because that's where the bearing is gonna be riding. All right guys, so we have the opposite side all replaced and this axle is ready to rock and roll. So we're gonna put this away for when we do the front suspension stuff. We'll install it then. I warned you guys what we were gonna do in this video. So everything that I said we were gonna do, we got it done. We got all of the parts from the parts store, very beginning of this video. We got the booster painted. We got the axle boot replaced. We have the entire Phylux spindle refreshed, new ball joints, junkyard rotors refreshed, painted calipers, painted spindle, and it is almost ready to rock and roll. Just the brake lines I need to get, but other than that, we have everything else. I'm gonna spend the rest of my day cleaning everything else. Like, I'm not gonna show you guys me scrubbing down some headlights, windshield wiper motor and installation of that. It's just labor. It's just labor. So that means we're gonna cap out this video, guys. We did get some stuff in the mail. We're not gonna open it right now, but let me tell you guys what we got. This right here, super soft. I want to say this is my turbo blanket, and this right here is going to help contain the heat coming off the turbo itself in the engine bay. This package right here from Amazon, we have, it's pretty heavy. I believe this is the titanium heat wrap, which we're going to be using to heat wrap the downpipe, and there should be a second box in here, which I want to say is one of my AN line kit, whether it's the -6 or the -8. Amazon did show up with 3 packages, even though I ordered all at once. And then this one right here is the other AN line. So I ordered 2 sets, -8, -6 feed and return system. So we have that. My pile of parts is starting to turn into a mountain, guys, and I'm very excited to start unboxing all of them so we can get these parts installed into the car one by one. Not much more for this video, so I'm gonna cap it out here so I can get going and start cleaning a bunch of other stuff. But I hope you guys enjoyed this progress update on the EF sedan, man. If you guys did, be sure to leave a thumbs up. And if you guys want to stick around for more progress update on the car, be sure to hit the subscribe button. But with that being said, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.